The other day, I went to the park and just sat in my car, and I was just like looking at life altogether. And I was kind of creating a contrast between the stillness of the natural world, forests, land that is not occupied by people. And I was contrasting that with, you know, civilization, human uh, systems and structures and all of these different things that we've designed. And, even with that, all of the chaos that has come with it uh, as a result of systems and structures that have been uh, potentially fucked up and corrupted by people that are, um, arguably and even clinically unhealthy. And I was really just like looking at my own self and my own journey of healing. And I just thought that it was so fascinating that I personally feel that from a very early age, we've been kind of, I don't know, unconsciously and subconsciously programmed into such a like future based way of seeing things. I've made videos on this subject before. I've made podcast episodes on this subject before. When we're younger, it's like we want to be older, but then when we are older, it's like we want to be younger. I can imagine many people have heard of this before. A fascinating paradox. When you're a kid, you want to be an adult because you feel like you just want to get there already. And when you're an adult, when you have age, or when you don't have any more room for age, and it's like you're reflecting, it's like, did you spend all of your time and energy when you were younger wishing that you were older? And with the youth, you had your entire life ahead of you, but then you became so future based and you thought that, oh yeah, I don't have all of these different things that I've been taught that I need by people that I don't know right now are actually unhealthy and inaccurate. Like, it's fascinating because I was having a conversation the other night with somebody, and we were talking about how wild it is that humans determine the value of things, and with that gets like intertwined into the fabric of collective consciousness, how we perceive things, how we view things. We put gold on a pedestal, but simultaneously that's just the meaning that we've given to it. Like, it's just gold. Like, some people like are like, oh my god, gold, oh my god, gold, but it's like, it's just gold. It's just gold. Oh my god, money, oh my god, it's just money. We idolize things. We idolize people. It's just a thing. It's just a person, no matter what it is that they have achieved. We create ideas of value for things, and then we like lock ourselves inside of that matrix. And so on this journey of healing that I find myself on, it is so fun. It is so fascinating to dissolve meaning, because meaning is just meaning. Like, so many people live lives believing that, things have inherent meaning, while not realizing that, whether unconsciously or subconsciously, either you've created meaning for something or you've bought into meaning that somebody else created for it. Is this not all just a matrix of meaning? Maybe you learned to be attracted to chaos because that was taught in your childhood. That was a dynamic that was learned in your childhood. Maybe you learned to associate love with chaos. And maybe because of that, you've also shied away from healthy relationship dynamics that would still be considered loving, but they're not chaotic. They are instead peaceful and calm. Are you aware of the meaning that you are unconsciously and subconsciously creating for things and people? Do you actually value the things that people have led you to believe that you should value? Look at pop culture, look at trends, look at all the ways that you choose to be as an individual. One of the most fascinating things about healing for me is realizing that I have created unconscious and subconscious models of like value for things. If every single unhealthy individual, when I say unhealthy, I'm referring to emotional unhealth. If every single emotionally dysregulated individual on the face of this planet like healed overnight, which is not possible from what I understand. Like if every single emotionally dysregulated person on the face of this planet transformed their nervous system overnight, oh my goodness, we would see an entirely different world. It's wild. All of these different things that we see on a regular basis that we just consider to be normal, and we've created meaning for it. Oh, the world just has to be this way because this is just the way that it is. Bull fucking shit. Not to say that it's just easy to fucking flip a switch and have it all change, but all of these things that happen in the world, all of these things of chaos, if there is chaos, there is dysregulation. Chaos does not exist without a root of dysregulation. If somebody's nervous system is dysregulated, they're either going to seek chaos or they're going to create it. So maybe growing up, people were led to believe that this is just the way that the world is. It's just a fucked up place and it's just chaotic. Let me reframe that for people. This is the way that the world is, with a portion of people being emotionally dysregulated as a result of an unhealthy, fucked up, traumatizing, severely traumatizing, every childhood has trauma, period. Severely traumatizing, survival-based childhood. You learn dysregulation. Whatever is going on in here is going to be created out there. Like, that's the way that it works. How fascinating is that? What if healing means that what you previously did was either looked for or created chaos as a result of emotional dysregulation? You no longer do that. Like imagine that. How fucking wild is that? Imagine that all of the meaning that you have created subconsciously and unconsciously, or all the meaning that you've just downloaded as a result of what has been taught to you, imagine all of that shit just dissolving or like being obliterated. Oh, this is just the way the world works? We're just going to leave it in mystery? The world is full of fucking chaos? Well, it's not full of fucking chaos, actually. No. A portion of the world is emotionally unhealthy, emotionally dysregulated. They are creating out there what is experienced in here. It's not a fucking mystery. Now, I'm not saying that I can change that. I can influence that. I can present information to people and help them understand, listen, you may have been programmed to believe that the world is the way that it is, and that's just the way that it is, and it's a fucking mystery, and nobody knows how to change it. That's bullshit. If you were led to believe that the world is just a fucked up place and that's just the way that it is, that people are just fucked up, people are not just fucked up. There is a root to everything. Did life look confusing to you growing up because you were led to believe things about people and the world that didn't make sense? And honestly, with that, it looked so weird that you just decided to not look at it anymore. Not look into it, not understand that, oh wow, wait a second, there's a difference between a survival based fight, flight, freeze, fawn childhood with a lack of healthy boundaries, individuation, and differentiation. There's a difference between that and like an actual healthy childhood where children don't get as fucking marred and scathed with trauma. It's still there, but it's far less. One of the most fascinating things about healing, for me personally, is allowing clarity to take place, allowing meaning to dissolve that was previously there. Oh, this person did that, so that means that they're a bad person. That's not true. It's also not accurate. People aren't good or bad. They are far more complex than that. That's black or white thinking, and it's not an accurate or healthy way of looking at people. They're not good or bad or right or wrong. But this all is meaning that was applied to people, for many people. Healing is about the dissolving of all of that and seeing everything for what it is. People don't understand, and it's very important to understand this, just how influenced your perception is of reality when your nervous system is dysregulated. You perceive everything so fucking differently. When you heal, your nervous system is restored to a healthy dynamic of regulated. What does that mean? It means that you don't have this need to create chaos or to seek it. Whatever's going on in here is going to be either attracted or created out there. The world doesn't just have to be a fucking chaotic place. It doesn't. It is because there are a portion of the population that are dysregulated. They are emotionally underdeveloped. It's not good or bad or right or wrong. It's just sad because it's a tragedy, honestly. But the theme of this video is all about the transition from dysregulation to regulation and just how much actually changes when you dissolve all of the meaning that you have previously tied and created for things and people. In your upbringing, subconsciously, unconsciously. You dissolve all of that when you let go of all of the meaning that has been created for. And let me make it very clear: there's been a lot of fucking meaning created for things, subconsciously and unconsciously. When you transition from that, when you transform from that, when you actually seek clarity, like clarity is so undervalued, underestimated. People are very much consumed by the dysregulation inside of them. Everything changes when you understand that there's no inherent meaning to anything. We create that unconsciously and subconsciously. No matter what book tells you otherwise, no matter what text tells you otherwise, we create meaning for things. We can change how we see things based on the meaning that we create for it. And if we allow all of the other meaning that we have created for things to dissolve, literally everything transforms. It's fucking wild. This is the journey of healing. This is the difference between dysregulation and regulation. chaos and order.